Peaches, 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 I love you. Oh, peaches, 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 I love you. Peaches, peaches,
I was so worried you were going to forget the words to that.
But welcome back to StillerBros with the Movies, where today we are going to a movie that has been years in the making, and we are very excited for Super Mario Galaxy movie.
So 3 years ago, we saw the first Super Mario Brothers movie, or at least the first one that was, good.
And in that time, it became very obvious that this was going to get a sequel, especially because it made $1 billion. Because of course it wasn't going to make $1 billion. It was a fun family movie based on a video game that so many parents and some grandparents nowadays grew up with, so they were going to take their kids to.
Yeah, so it was a movie that had a built-in audience, and it pretty much had some hype behind it, and ultimately people liked it. Audiences really, really liked it, and critics weren't kind of mixed on it, but ultimately the movie was a success. It made $1 billion.
Ultimately, the audiences won out on this, because while critics did not like it because they were like, oh, there's no real story, it's a bunch of Easter eggs and stuff like that, and it's like, have you played a Mario game?
Mario games are not big on story, but ultimately we walked away from it pretty happy with it, because we just kind of were enjoying ourselves for the entire run of the movie, and ultimately that's what we wanted out of that, and what we want out of most movie experiences is to enjoy ourselves. And so when we were leaving the theater, we were excited for a second one of these, and ultimately we're getting one, and it looks like they ripped the brakes out and are going full speed towards something very, very, very cool that we're very excited about.
So, Super Mario Galaxy is...
Everyone knows it's the best video game of all times.
Thank you, Jack. Anyway, it's one of the best video games ever made. It's so fun. I love playing the game. I almost am angry that I'm not playing it right at this very second.
This fucking dork!
But it's very much one of those Mario games that had a new system because it was made to sell with the Wii system way back in the early '80s, and I love it. So when they announced that it was going to be the basis for the new movie, I like many other people, was very excited, especially because that meant that they could play with whole new galaxies and everything like that. They basically put in the first movie that, hey, we'd like to do a Super Mario Galaxy movie if this works out.
There's a huge universe out there with a lot of galaxies.
And that kind of left it with the question of who is going to play one of these central characters of Super Mario Galaxy, Princess Rosalina. And there was a bit of speculation here and there, people just kind of being like, well, I don't think the internet ever specifically locked in on one specific actress or even pop singer trying to move into acting. But eventually, Chris Meledandri and Shigeru Miyamoto did announce in a Nintendo Direct who was going to be playing Rosalina, and they went with Oscar winner and long recorded Nintendo superfan Brie Larson.
Hi everyone. Being part of a Nintendo Direct, this is a huge moment for me. I watch these. I play all of these games my entire life. Super Mario Galaxy is one of my favorite games, so getting to play Rosalina has been incredibly special.
Wow, you're a nerd. A hot nerd.
Then she just walked away from the scene of the murder.
Now, we're not going to be those guys who are like, Brie Larson's redeemed herself in the eyes of nerds because look at her being funny and quirky and so great and nerdy and all that stuff. And it's like, We knew that.
We knew that because we were not morons, and because we could.
We are not
we're
going to be
morons.
we're not going to pretend like our opinions on Brie Larson have changed significantly at any point in the last few years.
No.
We have it on record that we have always, at the very least, liked Brie Larson as an actress.
We were very much in the camp of these man-baby basement dwellers are a bunch of morons who think that she said something that was targeted at them, or she said something that just offended them because she hates white people. She hates white people and white men in particular. No, she fucking doesn't. Fuck off.
And so we've got Princess Rosalina, played by one of the dorkiest Nintendo fans, and she's so fun and personable. Oh, and also Benny Safdie is playing Bowser Jr.
Yeah, that was kind of a out of left field thing.
Yeah, Benny Safdie, to my knowledge, has never done voiceover work.
No.
And I'll give him credit. He's doing a different voice from his just standard talking voice, playing Bowser Jr. But other than that, we also have the original voice cast from the last movie coming back. Chris Pratt, Charlie Day, Anya Taylor-Joy, Jack Black, the whole 9 yards, Keegan-Michael Key, and except for the Kongs being noticeably absent, so no Fred Armisen and no Seth Rogen.
Probably because for all we know, they're developing another thing with the Kongs. We don't know just yet.
And then we've also, in the groups of new people, have the likes of Luis Guzman as the Super Mario World character of Wart, the villain from that game.
And we also have a surprise character that they blew the surprise on a week ago, and we kind of wish we would have been able to see that in the movie.
So, if you have not heard of this, just go ahead and skip ahead a couple of seconds on this, because we're going to mention it real quick. Glen Palace, Foxen Club.
Yes.
Okay, everyone who skipped over that, glad to have you back. Anyway, along the way, we've got our directors from the previous movie. The Horvath and Jelnik directing team are back, obviously, because they did such a good job on the first movie. We've got Brian Tyler coming back to do the score, which, exciting, because the score was a great thing that people really loved from the movie, to the point that when they replaced his score with just regular pop songs, a lot of people are still mad about that.
Yeah.
And understandable, looking back and watching the first movie from the perspective of we're just rewatching this after not seeing it for a little while, the pop songs instead of score do stand out a lot more.
Yeah.
Like, the movie didn't need to end on Mr. Blue Sky, and they didn't need to put Take On Me over the Donkey Kong Kingdom sequence. So, yeah, I can understand where that comes from, and I can understand a lot of other stuff that people criticized about the movie. Yes, the plot was a little bare bones. Yes, it did feel like a little bit of an Easter egg fest, and yes, it did feel like a very, very normal family comedy. But on the other hand, it was the most Mario movie that I wanted a Mario movie to feel like.
We had fun, and that's what we want when we see a Mario movie, is to have fun.
It's what we want when we play a Mario game, is fun.
And critics have been lambasting this movie for a lot of the same reasons that they were lambasting the first movie, although I guess a lot more of them are getting a lot meaner. I saw one critic say that this was worse than AI, which, no, because that discounts the hundreds of people at Illuminations that worked on this movie, whether it be the story team, the animators, the sound designers, all the people who made this movie what it is. So whether you like it or not, at least you can say that a bunch of people actually did work on this movie, and not somebody wrote a lazy prompt into the movie and it turned into some inconsistent blob of CGI crap. No, this is a movie that was made by people.
Hell, even when we are in the angriest hate movies possible, we still will go out of our way to be like, I just feel bad for the people who made this movie because they had to put time in to make something that ultimately didn't work.
Yeah. Like, we did not like the Minecraft movie, but if you watch that video, we say that the people who worked on it put effort into it.
And we feel bad that that effort was wasted on the Minecraft movie. Now, are we gonna walk away from this movie feeling like it's the best movie, like, or that it's as good as the first Mario movie? We don't know yet because we haven't seen it yet.
No.
But a bunch of film critics that we really trust have seemed to come out of this being like, yeah, it's a good movie in the same way that the last movie was a good movie. I will still argue that the last Mario movie was a good movie. Not a great movie. A good movie. I'm not angry that it didn't get nominated for a single Academy Award, but I will say that it was a good movie. It understood what it was trying to do, and it tried its best at what it was trying to do, and it left room for improvement, which honestly I feel like more movies need to understand is something that you can do. You should be allowed to leave room for improvement in a movie.
Yeah.
But all that to say, I'm going in very optimistic of the Super Mario Galaxy movie. I really want to be doing the exact same thing I did when I went into that theater 3 years ago, where I'm sitting in the theater full of kids who are actually respectful to the fact that other people are in the theater, so they're not like making noise and everything every 2 minutes. And I want to have the biggest, dumbest smile across my face the entire time. Because the world's on fire right now. I just want to watch dancing lights on the screen.
Yeah.
And I will after the jump. I got what I wanted out of it.
Yeah.
I like getting pandered to, so sue me.
Yeah, we had fun at the movies. Oh, but oh no, call the police. Call the critics of the associations.
Look, the fact of the matter is, these movies aren't made for the critics. They're made for the fans, which is a terrible excuse when you make bad movies, to just be like, I didn't make it for the critics, I made it for the real fans, the people who put their money down no matter what crap we put out. But I don't care. I loved this movie, and critics, I don't get what they have against just a movie that's like, let's have fun, let's do the thing, let's make a Mario movie that feels like a Mario video game.
Especially because at the end of the day, this is a movie about interdimensional plumbers and a princess made for children.
It's a movie where characters are flying around breathing in space with an anthropomorphic fox flying them around. What are we doing here?
There's a tiny dinosaur and a mushroom guy being rivals until the end when they're buddies.
What are we doing here?
If you can't enjoy that, what the fuck are you doing?
But let's get into this. I still love the voice cast from the original movie coming back to this. I could do without Chris Pratt doing stupid stuff like defending his wife's worm-brained cousin from basically destroying our healthcare systems, but whatever. Chris Pratt still is a decent Mario, while everybody else is perfectly cast in their roles.
Yeah.
I love Charlie Day as Luigi. I love Keegan-Michael Key as Toad. Love Anya Taylor-Joy.
Anya Taylor-Joy as Peach is the big star of this movie.
Yeah, Mario and Luigi are kind of off doing their own little goofball comedy bit in the background, while Peach gets the lion's share of the character development. Well, Peach and Bowser. In fact, something I noticed was that all three major storylines of this movie basically have one common theme. And unfortunately, I cannot say what that common theme is without majorly spoiling what happens in one of the storylines, which I'll say probably confirms the fan theories that some people have had sitting in their back pockets for a really long time.
Yeah.
But I loved that. I love the new additions to the cast. I wish there was more of Brie Larson in this movie, because it feels like casting Brie Larson as Rosalina and then using her the way that they've been doing feels a little bit weird, but maybe more in Super Mario Bros. 3.
Yeah. And Jack Black as Bowser was pretty good. He got a lot less to do this movie than he did in the first movie.
If you're expecting an artistic follow-up to Peaches, I'm sorry to say you'll be disappointed.
And him and Benny Safdie have I don't want to say great comedic chemistry,
but the two work off each other pretty well, and you don't realize just how much Benny Safdie sounds enough like Jack Black to play his son until you actually hear the two of them in a scene together.
Yeah.
And as we've stated before, the animation is fantastic. It's probably the best animation in an Illumination production. They are clearly pulling out all the stops to be like, hey, if this is going to be our biggest franchise, we should probably put all of our money and effort into this.
The thing about this movie is that they significantly brought up the animation, and how could they not? The universe is huge and it's beautiful.
And the other thing is that not only is the animation like a notch above what it was before, it is also allowed to do more things with the animation, more styles of animation. There's 2D sequences, 16-bit sequences, 8-bit sequences.
And just with the characters' expressions, like there's scenes. There's a scene where we get Princess Peach being very emotional, and we get so much expressions out of her.
And I love Princess Peach being allowed to just make goofy faces every once in a while when she's like excited or sad or just anxious or whatever. I just love this. I just love the way they are like, look, Princess Peach is a character that's been around for a while. This is the personality we're giving her. This is the way we're going to have her interact with these characters.
These characters need to be allowed to have personalities. Is the story thin? Yes. Is there a lot of character development? Not really.
Yeah, I can't specifically say that Mario and Luigi walk out of this movie any different than the way they walked in.
Is it even better than the first movie?
I don't know if I'd say so, but it's definitely... Look, immediately after we finished the movie, I logged it on Letterboxd, and my review specifically says, I don't know if this is a 4-star movie, but I definitely had 4 stars of fun.
Yeah.
And I love the fact that Donald Glover is completely unrecognizable as Yoshi.
But he's also completely recognizable as Yoshi, because if you know it's him, you can hear him.
Yeah, you can hear little bits of him. In fact, Donald, I know you said you're done with Childish Gambino, but can we get like an entire album of you just remaking Childish Gambino songs in the Yoshi voice? Like, I just kind of want to hear what the hell This Is America sounds like in your Yoshi voice.
Yeah.
But I love the fact that this movie is just, it's a big, fun love letter to Mario. It's a love letter to Nintendo.
Even more so than the last one, because we have obviously a lot more Nintendo characters.
I love the fact that every 10 seconds I was graced with something from some Mario game, whether it be Galaxy or Odyssey or some deep cut from a Mario game that I've been playing, like Sunshine, Mario 64.
There's so much cool stuff in there. Even more so, I'm interested to see where they'll go. I hope that we're getting a third movie. Oh, there might even just be a Super Smash Bros. Movie in between this and the third movie.
Yeah, remember, tell the kid who's playing Link to get ready to start beating up CGI Chris Pratt.
Yeah.
Because it's gotta happen at some point.
Yeah.
They've done too much setting up of the idea of all these characters, one big multiversal meeting.
Yeah.
I'm ready. In the immortal words of former Nintendo of America president Reggie Fils-Aimé, my body is ready. I mean, what else? Brian Tyler back to scoring. Once again, pulling out all the stops in referencing Mario's score pieces with his score. And there's more of it. If you were really afraid of the fact that they were probably going to cram more pop music needle drops in instead of a score, or it's like 3. There's like 2 or 3 this time around.
There's significantly less pop culture needle drops in this movie.
Yeah, so if you were hoping that Brian Tyler's music was actually going to get a chance to shine, you are going to be very happy.
Yeah, except with the caveat that there is a moment where it feels like there should be a Star Wars Cantina song, but he does kind of do something to that effect in a similar scene to in a different scene, but I still feel like there should have been a Cantina song in this one particular point in the movie.
But just the fact that every scene, no matter what you want to say about it, the way that it feels like every plot point is just basically an excuse to go from one action set piece to another is just, once again, have you played a Mario game?
Yeah.
In Mario games, the story is so superfluous because it's basically there to introduce an idea of, this is a game mechanic. These are the set pieces that you have to play through. I understand why people seem to think that these movies are just kind of not as good as people are saying they are. I understand why critics might be so hard on this. But the problem with that is, I still like them. Yeah. I still sat in that movie theater with the biggest smile on my face every second. The second I saw Rosalina's Space Fortress in fully rendered cinema quality CGI, dear God, was I just so happy.
I liked it too. Even though I do not get any of the references that he was excited about.
I'm just so happy to see all this stuff fully rendered. I look forward to seeing whatever Super Mario Bros. 3 has in store for us.
Yeah, other than, don't call it Super Mario Bros. 3, just because a lot of people, because, that's the name of the most popular game in the franchise.
Yeah, but still, I understand that there's going to be a lot of people who are going to hate this movie. Probably because they're just like, I don't like the fact that the stories are thin. I don't like the gigantic celebrity voice cast that just feels superfluous. But I love that stuff. I love the fact that they've crammed the cast with well-established gamers. Not like Brie Larson, Donald Glover, Jack Black. These people are all famous for being gamers. Supposedly, according to Jack Black, Donald Glover campaigned hard just to play Yoshi. And I don't know what else to say. It's just a really, really fun movie. I don't think it's a perfect movie. I didn't think the last one was specifically a perfect movie. But I just love the care and...
It's just fans making stuff. That's the kind of thing we can love in movies, where it's fans not necessarily trying to do anything big or...
Well, they are trying to do something big, because one of the best sequences in this movie is one that plays with the Galaxy's most powerful game mechanic of gravity defying, while also cramming in as many characters as possible. This is a big action sequence, and you will know it when you see it.
I also can't say that they're trying to change the lore, because there is a lore-changing moment in this movie, but with Miyamoto as a producer, I imagine he probably signed off on this, so he's putting an end to years of speculation on something.
And even if you don't particularly care for it, you can just say, well, alternate universe.
What these are is just fans giving a love letter to this franchise and these games and these things that people have loved for 40 years now.
Yeah, something we keep forgetting to mention, it is the 40th anniversary of the first ever Super Mario Brothers game. And this is the centerpiece of it. Sorry guys, I don't think we're getting a big new game or something like that.
I think they've even announced it directed by now.
But the important thing is, even if you don't like this movie, it's probably going to make $1 billion.
Yeah.
So, sorry, everyone who doesn't like this, you're going to have to sit through at least one more of these.
Yeah.
But then again, this is Illumination we're talking about. We're about to get the 4th Minion movie.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I'm happy.
Yeah.
I'm just happy.
Yeah.
Everything is bad out in the real world, but I got to sit in a theater and watch Mario stuff.
Yeah.
I am super happy.
Yes.
So, I think that's it. So the Super Mario Galaxy movie is just fun. It's more fun. It's another Mario movie, just like the last one. Your mileage may vary on whether or not it's just as good or just slightly less good as the last one, but I liked it.
Yeah.
Boom. So, be sure to like this video, subscribe to this channel. Leave in the comments what you may or may not have thought of the Super Mario Galaxy movie, or Super Mario Galaxy the game, or Super Mario Galaxy 2 the game, or just all the Mario games, or all the Star Fox games, or all the other stuff. But be sure to tune in next time. I would like to see the baby. Bye.
Behold! I made a masterpiece for Princess Peach. What do you think?
Love the colors.
It's trash.
How dare you look at my masterpiece and say that!